What it do, fellas? How everybody been? How everybody been?
Good, good, good. Everything good over here. What's good?
I ain't-
Same old thing, man. Living the best way I can.
All right, so this is Saturday today. We starting to tell a day because we got the Knicks playing the Warriors today. So the Knicks is in at Golden State. Where they at right now? They in San Fran. Where they at?
Yeah. We got Golden State tonight, 8:30. Coming off that buzzer beater from Mikal Bridges.
That was nice. You called it. You
Yes,
called it.
yes.
We gonna talk
And it's
about that.
funny.
We got a little Knicks segment going on later on. We gonna talk about this because
Right. But
we need more people with me, but we'll talk about that later.
yes. But all good, all good.
All right. So so everybody week was good so far?
Oh yeah, I ain't got nothing to complain about, man. I had one hiccup this week. I went to the gas station. Dude told me Newports was on sale for no reason. I didn't smoke.
Might as well said chitlins and watermelon.
Right.
What the fuck? Was he
Oh
white or
man.
black?
I think he was like Indian, Pakistani, something like that.
I don't even have a joke for him. Fuck it. Yeah. That's what it is. My week was good, man. I work like sometime I work so and my day be so long, and then I be burning both ends of the camps. I be upstate late, editing and doing things. So I think it was Tuesday. I was coming from work, right? I left work early too. It was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm at the light. Oh,
Yo,
at the light, yo.
nah, man.
At the light. I rolled my windows down and turned the music up, and I just took it on in, man. But
Wow.
yeah, but it's your boy. We got Benny Blanco in the building. We got Seven Sign in the building. I'm your host, Lifeline. This is GOAT Metrics episode 10. And this one is a little different. This one's a little different. This is the first entry because we wrapping up the top 10 all-time accomplished players. And this one right here, no disrespect to number 10, but he made me feel different because I felt like so many other players should have been up higher. But one thing my nephew talked about, I'm going to reiterate this. We're not placing who we think. We just reporting their report card. So these are
Mm-hmm.
things that
Fact.
they did. These are things that we can't take it away from him. He got 7 English credits. We can't, you know what I mean? Like, this is what we do. He got an A on the midterm. These are things they did.
Hmm.
We look
Mm-hmm.
at everybody else's report card and realizing their report card is higher. But we about to run into it right now. This is none other than the number 10 spot is Bob Cousy. Bob Cousy played 14 years. He got a GOAT metric score of 181.
Mm.
Played from, this is crazy. Y'all, you might not know this. He played from 1950, 51 through 62, 63, then came back in 1970, 69, 70. He came back 6 years later and
Wow.
7 games and averaged 0.7 points. I don't know what he was doing. He didn't even come back to the same team. He came back to the Roanoke Rapids Warriors or something. You know,
Wow.
from the Celtics.
Wow.
Yeah. But let's get back to his thing. That was pretty funny to me. Like, how you retire and come back 6 years later and play 7 games? I guess you told somebody you could still play, and your body told you,
That's what it was.
That was a bet. That
nah.
was a bet. That was a bet.
It was a bet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right.
Had to be.
Hey, this is funny. When I was going through that rabbit hole. So he got 6 championships, which is 60 points. He got 8 assist titles, which is 80 points. And that's only second to John Stockton. He has 1 MVP, which is 5 points, and he got 12 All NBA, which is 36 points, which give him a GOAT metric score of 181. I'm gonna read this off because I'll tell you why. But his career average for points is 18.4. His rebounds is 5.2. His assist is 7.5. His greatest stats for like points, rebounds, assists, his highest scoring is 21.7. His highest rebounds is 6.9. And his highest assist is 9.5 assists. This kind of rubbed me a little different. But this just let me know playing in the 50s compared to playing today is crazy. He was guard. He got his field goal percentage is 37.5. Yeah. So when they say white boys can shoot, nobody told him. Nobody told him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, and most impressive thing to me is what he played for Andrew Jackson High School in Queens. Yeah. I wouldn't even go to Jackson.
That was before we got there.
Yeah, because it was lean on me when I was there.
Yes.
Well, y'all go ahead and talk on Bob Cousy. Y'all jump in and say what y'all gotta say.
I'll start it off because listen, all due respect. I respect all those numbers. They won a bunch of championships. He was on those Celtics teams. I guess he was the showman at the time. You see him coming down, doing the fancy pass behind the back and all that. But to me, definitely it's he played in a different time, because I'm looking at some of those Bob Cousy highlights, and I'll give Bob Cousy the business, man. You know what I'm saying? Because the dude is dribbling one hand like it's illegal to cross over to the other hand. Like, have you seen some of these highlights? It's crazy.
It's funny.
That's hilarious.
That is funny. Because I was kind of thinking the same thing, man. Like, I mean, I'm gonna respect him because of what he did.
Right.
But like, sometimes you got to use the eye test, and my eyes tell me that it's a lot of players better than Bob Cousy. And I hate doing this because then it always seems like we picking on the white ball player. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that. It's just when you play in a certain time period,
right?
Like you said, your field goal percentage was 37.5. We got dudes averaging 50%. We got dudes making the 50, 40, 90 club. Like, it's hard to say with that one, man. It's hard to say. So, but still, nonetheless, it's impressive. Like you average 18.4 points. You got to show them they respect, man.
Right.
So,
yeah, and that was the thing. This is one thing I went a little deeper. When he came into the league, it was 11 teams. The next year was 10. The next year was 9. The next year was 8. The next year was 9. The next year, you know what I mean? Like it was just different. It was a different era, a different time, playing different players. But I can't knock him because it's still the same NBA.
Right.
We play in different eras, and that's why, unless y'all want to throw something in on Bob Cousy again, we're gonna jump right into this. Is like we don't have we're just jumping into different things to talk about. And right now, what both of y'all said, like what Benny said, that was pretty funny to me. He didn't know if he could switch to the other hand. I want to know, should players get era plus points or era subtraction points? Because right now, it seems like Benny just took some points from him.
Right. That's interesting. That's it. Well, yeah, I mean, come on, man. Like we seen these highlights, and from my understanding, when he was playing on those Boston Celtics team, they had a squad. And eventually got Russell too. You know what I'm saying? So not only was he surrounded by good people, Look at that. Like you said, that shooting percentage, that's crazy. You shouldn't, his shooting percentage should have been way higher. And I've seen the highlights, man. They look weird, man.
What about you, Sam?
I'll say this. I definitely think that you should get, it should be a plus and minus for error. I do. But again, you can't take nothing away because, like you said, you play who's there. You know what I'm saying? You play who's there, but there should definitely be a plus and minus type situation, like for Bob Cousy. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
it should be some subtraction points there. Because we killed Steph, LeBron, KD, James Harden. If they averaged 37.5%, we would kill them. And these dudes ain't even really play defense. Like he had open shots.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He was missing shots against himself. So should definitely be a plus minus, man.
And one thing that I forgot to add was the special notes. You know, with season MVP didn't start to 1955-56, finals MVP and defensive teams ain't start to 68-69. So he was out the league. Blocks and steals ain't start to 73. So he was a point guard. He probably stole the ball. But he got no points for that. And what is this? 3 pointers ain't start to 1979-80. So but he couldn't shoot anyway. So that didn't hurt him. So the thing about it is the funny thing about it, and the ironic thing about it, how about that, is that him and Wilt Chamberlain and Bill Russell didn't get credit for other things that could have made them higher.
That's a fact.
Like blocks and steals.
Right.
Especially Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain, even Bob Cousy, because you play the point guard, you usually defending the point guard. So you get a lot of steals from other point guards because they have the ball. So you have more opportunity, and then you playing off the ball when it go to other players, and they usually try to get it back to the point guard. So you have an opportunity to be in the passing lane.
Right.
So
it's true.
Yeah. So I agree with the plus and minus, but it's just like Seth said, how do you do that? Because you could play who you played against. You know?
Right.
All right. Now we're going to go to the Knicks and the Warriors. They play tonight. Which is big. Benny got on his Knicks hat, so I'm going to pass it to you, B. I'm going to pass it. Think about the game, how you feeling?
After that buzzer beater, I think we're feeling good about ourselves. I mean, Brunson is still out, but I think this is good for the team. They need to gel. They need to learn to play without Brunson. Stop depending on him so much. But you know, the whole Mikal Bridges, Tom Tibbs situation is very, very interesting, and I'm just asking everybody on that situation, and I think it can go both ways. I see it from the player side and the coach side.
Speak on. Don't just assume we know what you're talking about. Tell me what you're talking about.
Okay, so prior to the buzzer beater, right before that game, it was blown up over here how Bridges went out to the media, told and speaking on Tibbs playing the starters too many minutes. Nobody's ever done this. You know what I'm saying? And okay, now let's look at Bridges. Bridges is an Iron Man. Bridges has not missed a game since he got into the goddamn league. Not one game. So you would think if Bridges is talking, it's coming, it's legit. It's legit, and maybe Tom Thibodeau need to look at that. Or like we was talking about, like, listen, if Bridges is tired, why don't he just say, look, I'm tired, take me out?
Yeah, I think that's a rough one, but I get what you're saying, because when you playing sports, and by him being an Iron Man, like if he did, because I heard Thibodeau, well, you know, they were saying on TV that Thibodeau, he act like the meeting never happened.
Exactly, right.
Yeah. So,
that's
but if it really happened, like how Bridges said, you should respect it even more because he's a player that don't miss any games. And he's a player that put it all on the floor. And he's a player that play both sides. So therefore, you probably could sometime play certain players longer that don't play on both sides or that cheat and take all some possessions. But when you got guys that play hard on the whole game, you got to rest them so their legs could be good in the last 5 minutes when it's game time.
No doubt.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a little disappointed in Bridges, and this is in typical Knicks fashion. You know what I'm saying? Like we can't get it together. Players, they want what they want. You know, if you don't want to rest, go to the G League. They get a lot of rest. You know what I'm saying? Go play for the big three. They get a lot of time off. We in the NBA. You making big money to show up every day. It's people that work at McDonald's making $7.25 an hour, and they not complaining because they got to feed their family. You know, fans pay to come see you play. That's what they pay for. So if you don't want to play, if you only want to play once a week, go to the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just disappointing because I didn't hear players growing up in my era complain about too many minutes.
Right.
You would get cursed out as a coach if you didn't play me when I felt like I needed to be played.
Yeah,
when the game was on the line, you didn't hear Allen Iverson, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Shaq talking about, man, I already played 32 minutes, coach. Maybe Pippen. But like, it's ridiculous. Like, you make too much money to have that many complaints. I think you should be able to complain about your job according to the money you make. All right? If you making $20 an hour, you should get 20 complaints a day. If you making $100 million, you need to be quiet and be on time. All right? Because that's what the fans is paying to see. You play.
Right.
And this is why these guys can't win championships without joining a super team with 3 other superstars. Because they don't have the will to play, the will to win. Can you imagine Kobe saying something like that? God bless.
There they go. There they go. There they go. Rocky Marciano. Every time we talk about Rocky Marciano, you know what I'm saying? Every time we talk sports, they gotta say Jordan and Kobe. And now I'm just messing with you. I'm just listening to you.
It's good.
I had to throw that in there because it seemed like, and I know these players in the league get mad. Like Jordan and Kobe is the bar. They the ball. That era or that ferocity of a player, that dedication, that killer instinct, these guys' will to win becomes the bar. But I'm gonna let you have it back, Ben, because I know I was looking at your face when Seb was talking. Go ahead and say what you gotta say, bro. But I just had a little joke.
It's confusing. It's confusing because, you know, like, I played ball and you know, I know you played ball. I don't know if Seth played ball or not, but you in there, you playing ball. And you having a good game, you know what I'm saying? You're hitting shots, you're playing D, everything is working out. Do you want to come out the game? You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden you look and you probably played like 40 minutes or whatever. You played all these minutes, but you're feeling good. Do you want to come out the game? No, nobody wants to come out the game. So I'm like, yo, what is the confusion? Even now in the NBA, and this is my question. If you're playing and you feel tired, can you just be like, yo, I'm ready. I need a breather. Can't you just do that?
I think he answered you back. I think he said no. He said, hell no.
You can't ask for a breather and then just come back in.
I mean, I look at it like this. We know that the NBA been around for a long time. We just talked about Bob Cousy, who played in the 1950s before they even had a shot clock. All right. So what is so different about the NBA now, where these players need so much rest, in the era where the physicality is lower?
That's true.
And the type of health education that we have is so much more advanced. You know, like even listening to players talk about the shoes that they played in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
So much different now. Like, we already gave these guys, what do they want, a pillow? You want a pillow on the side of the bench? You take a nap? Come on, man.
I
This is
hear
why
you.
the
I hear
Knicks
you.
can't win.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. No,
okay.
I listen. I hear you. I hear you. And I grew up watching '90s basketball, and I seen how physical it was. So,
All right. Now, what's y'all picks for the game tonight?
well, hopefully, Bridges has another game and we take it. But you know, I'm a diehard Knicks fan, so I'm always gonna root that way, no matter what.
Even though Butler and them playing the way they are.
Yo, Jimmy, I love Jimmy Butler, and he loves killing the Knicks, so it's gonna be tough.
I don't want to hear nothing about Jimmy Butler. But I'm gonna go for the Knicks. You know, hopefully, because you did call it with Bridges, and I agree with you. Just
Right.
hopefully he played more than 10 minutes tonight, and we could pull out the game. So
Yeah, because I still don't believe in them. I still don't believe in. But right now, maybe that argument that they had, maybe that's going to make him go harder.
Right.
Maybe it's going to make him play to prove a point, because sometimes
Right.
you can't be a hero unless you have a villain. And sometimes you got to have a adversary to bring the best out of you. And that's why some people make adversaries just to be the best. So right now, Thibodeau, Bridges, it might be some feud, like a feud between them, but it might be a good thing to get your player mad. You know, it's just like whoever pit bull that was barking. You know what I mean? But there's a reason why you got your dog, you grab their mouth when they, you get them mad to get the best out of them. So maybe this is one of those times that this feud, because I'm a Knicks fan, I want to see us win. Right. I want to see it. I hate that Brunson went down. I want to see us beat Golden State, because if we beat Golden State tonight, it says a lot, because all they talking about is the Jimmy Butler effect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like they 12-2 with the trade, but they really like 12-1 while he played.
Right.
So if he played tonight, which he is, I want to see, can he be beat and in Golden State? That would say the Knicks is turning the corner and everything don't fall on Brunson. And now I feel like I'm ready for the playoffs if I see that happen.
So let me ask you this before we move on. Because thinking about it, Thibodeau has had a lot of problems with a lot of good players.
Correct.
And it seemed like they fall apart under Thibodeau. And I'm looking at Thibodeau and I'm looking at the Knicks as a whole and how long he's been there. Yeah. And I'm wondering, could he possibly be the problem?
Well, that's what we're all asking. And that's why I'm saying I'm looking at it from the player. I'm looking at it from the coach. Listen, Mikal Bridges never missed a game. He's not one to come out in the media and complain, but he did.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that holds some type of weight there.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that, because I think about Kemba, the situation with Kemba Walker, and I'm like,
right.
So I don't know.
Let's even look back. Derrick Rose. It was under Tibbs. It was under Tibbs. Look, you look at the good. Under Tibbs, he won MVP.
Mm-hmm.
But under Tibbs, he suffered a lot of injuries.
You know what? From that aspect, I'm gonna hold my tongue on it.
Mm.
No, don't hold your tongue. Don't hold your, because right now,
I just mean to say, from that aspect, like, I'm not gonna go as hard on my argument. I still feel the way that I do.
Right.
But that's something that I do have to take into consideration. I didn't even think about Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Or Kemba Walker, or like all of these players. Like, he seems, it's like it is a pattern.
Right.
I still feel the way I do about this generation of crying, the Kawhi Leonard, I need a break.
Of course.
But it might have some merit to it when you look at it from that standpoint. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah. And I feel the same way. I'm caught up in the middle. because you know my brother called me and he's always hating on Thibodeau. Oh, he playing too much. I was like, yo, stop bitching. But at the end of the day, look at it. Look at it. Derrick Rose, you know,
And Brunson. I mean,
Brunson.
Brunson the year before last,
Listen,
like he destroyed that guy.
last year in the playoffs, what happened? We got depleted.
Yeah.
We got depleted at the end of the day. So I think it's a topic. I think it's a topic.
I do. I think we might need to look more into that.
Since y'all added something to it, do we get rid of him?
Listen, Stephen A. came out and said Thibodeau is in trouble.
Yeah, I agree. Because when you got Brunson, and for the last 3 years playing the way that he played, and then you had key pieces around him, I think that we should have went a lot further. You know, to see Atlanta go to the conference round, like that bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Like that should have been the Knicks, you know. And we had good players, man.
Mm-hmm. But listen, in last year, depleted. We talking about OG got hurt. I think never came back, or when he came back, he was still limping. He should have never came back.
Yeah,
then
definitely.
Hartenstein went down. Josh Hart went down with the rib.
Yeah.
It was like injuries after injuries after injury. So you know what? I think it's something that needs to be looked at for real.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to look and see how much he playing his starters opposed to the rest of the team.
Well, I can tell you this. I can tell you this right now. The Knicks have 3 of the top 6 players with the most minutes. So go to the players that play the most in the league.
Right, that's true.
First top 6, 3 of them play for the Knicks. There's no other team that has players.
That says a lot.
So it's either you don't respect your bench, or you just feel like, I don't know, because I mean, that's all it could be, because when you give your starters rest, that means your bench got to carry the weight. And maybe,
but you know, we've had good benches.
What you saying?
Listen, we've
had pretty good benches at times.
Right. I don't think our bench right now is that bad. We got some players that could come in. Payne could come in. Deuce could come in. They got Shamit. Shamit could come in and play some ball. You got Precious Achua, who's looked a lot better these days.
Yeah, he does.
Use these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with y'all, but this is one thing. Since y'all brought it up, I had to ask that question. So we all say, I believe that I don't think the Knicks gonna win tonight. I want them to, but I wouldn't bet no money on it.
I never bet on the Knicks.
No.
So you think? Because Ben don't want to say who's gonna win. Seb, so what you say? Who win tonight?
I think that Golden State is going to win the game, just because they riding on a high horse right now. You know, they still in the honeymoon with Jimmy Butler, and we all know if we look at Jimmy Butler track record, he goes to a team, they ride high, and then in 2 seasons, you know, he didn't changed his hair, got 3 new piercings, and he don't want to come out and play. So we know the routine.
Yeah, that's his pattern. That's been his pattern.
Yeah, we know the routine.
That is hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. Now, this is sad to say because 2 players passed. I think, what's his name? I can't say his name, but I know we can go to Oliver Miller. I'll look up the other player. I think it's Junior Bridgman.
Yeah. I think he played in the 70s. Did he play in the 70s?
Yeah, he didn't score a lot of points on the court, but he scored a lot of points at the bank. Billionaire, and he probably made $350,000 in his whole career, but he's a billionaire. He made a lot of business decisions. Junior Bridge.
Right.
But let's talk about Oliver Miller as well, because Oliver Miller passed as well. So I condone to both of these guys. You know?
Yeah, Oliver Miller, I remember more in college. You know, I used to watch a lot of college basketballs back then. I mean, because I think it meant more back then because players stayed in college longer. So it was in the era of that players stayed in college longer. And I remember Arkansas, and he was pretty good there. But in the NBA, he had promise, but I don't think he ever fulfilled it.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. And yeah, college, I don't watch college ball as much now because, like you said, then it was almost like it was a pro league, a semi-pro league. You know, now these guys are one and done. But with Oliver Miller, like his NBA career isn't memorable at all. You know, God bless. You know, anytime that someone passes, you know, we hate to hear that. But his NBA career, I don't even think, did he play like 3 seasons?
He played more seasons than you thought. He
Really?
played 10 seasons. He played more.
Oh, wow.
Did he really play 10 seasons?
He probably had, because he played 493 games. It's just a lot of seasons he didn't play full season. Like 59 games, 65 games, one season, 4 games because he got injured. This, that, you know, so he wasn't, you know, his NBA career wasn't as productive as college. And I don't know if that was because his weight or that was because he was playing with better athletes than college.
You know, I honestly feel, and I almost would say the same thing about Zion. Like sometimes where you go, it could be beneficial or detrimental to you. And sometimes you don't get to a place where people hold you accountable or where they teach you what needs to be done. We forget that most of these guys coming in the NBA, they're kids. These are kids coming into the NBA, and it's still up to the coaches and the older players to teach these guys what needs to be done. It's just like when we have children, we tell them you can't eat cake at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the morning for breakfast because we know it's unhealthy. And I think that they sometimes they throw these kids in there and expect them to know everything that they need to know, when a lot of these guys are just playing ball just to make it.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real different. It's real different. This is not on the books. This is not on the docket. And I hate to run this back because we talked about this last week, but it's more information. You know, with the LeBron and the Stephen A. and all that stuff.
Right.
DeMarcus Cousins made a he commented on the LeBron James situation and pretty much said when he did the same thing LeBron James did, y'all called me a bully, y'all wanted me out the league, y'all wanted this, y'all wanted that. It's like, come on now, like what's going on? Like what's really going on? And sometimes we don't realize that when it comes to these players and situations, you know, we don't realize that one guy could do something and somebody else can't. And DeMarcus Cousins, like, why y'all giving that man a pass like that when the reporter says something about my family? And I checked him. I didn't check him because he said I had a bad game. He said something about my family. And then when LeBron did it, y'all say he's just a great father.
I don't agree with the LeBron thing. So, okay. I mean, if they're sitting there saying the truth and they're saying, you know, we're looking at the numbers and your son is really not that great of a player, then it is what it is. I'm not going to sit there and try to defend that.
Well, it's a reason it's okay when they do it, but when I do it, is a thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Again, and I'll say this 100 times. Before Bronny made the NBA, anytime somebody asked Stephen A. about Bronny, he would gracefully bow out. I'm not going to talk about Bronny because he's a child. He's a kid. He's not in the league. Now, if he makes the league, then I'll judge his game accordingly. And his game is bad. He was not ready for the NBA. Right. He should have stayed in college a few more years, maybe even played overseas. But he is not ready for the NBA, and I don't know if he'll ever be ready for the NBA. But nepotism is a hell of a thing. And if I had the opportunity to use nepotism to advance the careers of my children, I would. Right. So I'm not mad at LeBron for that.
No doubt.
But stay in your place, man. You wanted your child to be an NBA player. He's an adult. Let him take the adult criticism.
See, I knew LeBron was on steroids. Is nepotism a steroid? That sounds they should test that. Nepotism should be tested in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny because nepotism advances your children. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Hell of a steroid. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Matter of fact, I need to take that steroid to boost my children's life. You know what I mean?
Right.
But all jokes aside, I get it, man. And, you know, DeMarcus Cousins made a valid point. He made a valid point because, and that's bad, but that's just the reality of life. You know, the golden boy, you know, as LeBron James been for the last 20 plus years, is always going to get passes. And I can't knock it because if I was able to get a pass, I want a pass.
Of course, why not?
And if DeMarcus Cousins could have got a pass, but sometimes we just got to bring things to attention. So he brought it to the attention, and I'm sure he was feeling some kind of way.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Oh, yeah. And not just DeMarcus Cousins. Russell Westbrook. Like, it's been times where people have gotten out of line about a lot of athletes' family. Like, you shouldn't even be mentioning my family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But you know how it go. Even when moms ran on the court, oh, she really loves her son. You know what I'm saying? Anybody else there, like, get security. They need to go to prison.
Yeah.
So it is what it is.
Definitely. So right now, that's pretty much what I wrote down because I wanted to have a little open dialogue. We could just talk about whatever and see what's going on. You know, it could be on the court, off the court, whatever's going on. So I'm going to let Sev start it off because you always got something to say. So, so you go ahead and tell me what's on your mind, bro.
You know what? I'm offended that you think I always got something to say, but I actually have something to say this time.
Go ahead.
So, but no seriousness, I asked you this. We talked about it a few days ago when I talked about the playoffs.
Okay.
You know, remember the playoffs, you would start out, the first round was 5 games. And I feel like now we dragging the playoffs, and I get it, it's money. You're doing it to get money. But when you drag the playoffs like that, especially in the first round, because in the first round, we're ultimately seeing the best NBA team playing against the worst NBA team in the playoffs. So we get 1 seed facing the number 8 seed. And I think that it's like a 12% chance for the number 8 seed to actually win. And you put your good players in position to get hurt. Like they going hard to they might go 5 games, might go 6, and you going hard to beat this team that you should have beat in 4 games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you get hurt. Now the second round is a lot different. The second round looks so much different now when that star player goes down. And I think that we're just dragging it on and looking at it. Some of the best games in the first round of the playoffs, the best game is normally the 4 and 5 seed playing against each other because they're kind of on the, you know, even playing field. But normally the 1 and 8 seed, and they're like, oh, they're gonna get swept. Duh.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Duh. It's the 1 seed and the 8 seed. And it's not like the NFL where, you know, you one and done. So you actually get the opportunity to really mess up the later rounds of the playoffs. So I think we should go back to that. And then maybe players wouldn't be so tired and burn out as quick.
I like the 5 series, the best out of 5.
Yeah.
And you're right. So you got the teams that just crawled into the playoffs, and they're gonna play the number one. Now, if you want to do an upset, that'll be an upset, and everybody be like, "What the fuck just happened?" But
Right.
but yeah, man, why drag that series when the number one is playing the number 8? Nobody really cares.
Yeah, I'm with y'all, but even make it even more interesting is this: keep it 7-game series, but if you go down 3-0, it's over.
It's a stop.
Yeah, if you get after a 3-0 start,
it's a
qualifies
stop, baby.
as a sweep,
and that's for every series.
I agree.
That's even for the championship.
That's
I
good.
agree.
That's good. That's good.
Because if you down 2-0 and you so happy to lose this, shame on you, like my nephew say. The fuck out of here. Like, it up. Go on vacation.
That's right, Doc Rivers.
What are you doing here? Like, when you gonna show up? Matter of fact, don't show up no more. It's over.
Right.
That's a fact.
You down 3-0. What are we doing here? This is the NBA.
That's a fact.
It's the playoffs, and you ain't
right.
Save the embarrassment. Let's come on. So that game, when you down 2-0, that game 3 is pivotal. And I even think the other team would try to close you out.
Oh, yeah. They would go much harder to close you out.
To save their legs.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
No doubt.
I agree.
So that would be game 3 would be a do or die moment. We ain't gotta wait for 3-0 for the closeout game. Game 3 to be the closeout. I like what you said. So I like the 5-game series, but me just throwing a little spin on there, I think it'll be even funner if you know, because normally gonna be at home. If you lost the first games at home, you don't need no game 4. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But if the team won A2, you have to win your first game at home.
That's right.
Well, so another spin, like if you're starting that series at home and you lose the first 2 at home, you're done, right? You should be.
Oh yeah, you done. It's a wrap. You done.
If you can't win at home, then you're done.
You done.
we got like roulette rules right here. It's like
this
the
is playground 21, no take back rules, baby. You done.
Yo, the NBA be crazy. The sad thing about it is, to be real with you, why I think they will never do it. It's too much money in TV.
Of course.
You know, it's too much money in the game. But when my nephew brought this up to me, I was like, yeah, that's a great one to talk about. That's a great topic, because the best out of 5, the WNBA do it. So the best
and you know what? That's what I was about to mention, the WNBA, because I was going to say it would actually help out the WNBA. You know what I'm saying? Because we stretched the playoffs so long for the men that by the time WNBA come around, like most people kind of fed up. Like they season is shorter. You know what I'm saying? So you could put that effort towards them, because I'm not going to get into that whole thing, but they already getting screwed. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that money or that effort can be put a little more towards something else. The WNBA.
No doubt. I agree with that.
B, what's on your mind, B? What's on your mind, B?
Listen, man, I'm just like ready for tonight's game, and the playoffs are coming. And it's like, I was looking the other day. I think if the playoffs was to start today, believe it or not, we'll play the Pistons. How do you guys feel about that? Like, now, listen, the Pistons, young team, very physical team, and they got some dudes in there that like to bang around.
I don't know if I want to play the Pistons. and the reason being, because a lot of these young bad teams,
Yeah.
got a lot of good players.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
Because they've been getting picks for 20 years.
Mhm.
You know?
That's right.
So we don't know these players, but everybody in the NBA is basketball players.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
They've been playing their whole life, so I don't know. The Pistons don't have no star. Cade Cunningham or whatever his name is, like he's supposed to be their top guy, but they got a lot of other guys that's under
They
the
do.
radar that can actually play.
They got
Right.
that.
Big guys too.
Yeah. So one of their big men, Durham, young, strong, physical dude. Then they got that other guy that chased LeBron across the court. Yo, that
I
dude.
forgot about him.
He's on the Pistons right now, and he's ramped up. Like he has like new life. Jamaican
Okay.
dude. They got that guy Beasley who's shooting the lights out. I don't know what the hell.
Yeah.
Yo, Beasley is shooting the lights out.
They let him go. One of them teams let him go.
Yeah, he was on Milwaukee.
Yeah. I guess you can't have enough players on your roster. Sometimes you gotta let some guys go, but
Definitely.
he's a guy that I felt like that was a bad. Well, I mean, they got other guys now, but at the moment they let him go, and it's funny because you let him go, and as the season go on, you like, oh, we need a player like him.
Yes.
You know, like you'll break up with your girlfriend and somebody see you, they be like, ain't that with your old girlfriend? Like, nah, it's a new one. Like, oh, she looked just like her. You know what I mean? You might as well kept her. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I needed somebody just like that.
Story of my life.
But you the one writing the story.
There you go. There you go.
Sometimes my pen stutter. Sometimes my pen stutter. You know what I mean?
Hey, look, you know what you like.
Yeah, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And I'm gonna agree with you, man. I wouldn't want to play the Pistons. I would rather play like maybe the Hawks.
Right.
Like I don't respect Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that Detroit is a team that can accidentally put us out the playoffs.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So that's not a team I would want to face. Not in the first round anyway.
Right.
Like maybe once we have some momentum, you know, because I don't think the Knicks are soft. Like with OG, Brunson, like they not a soft team. So I think they can bang, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I just don't think Detroit is the team you want to face in the first round. Not if you like the 3 or 4 seed, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely don't want to do that. So I agree.
All right. Mine is in a different sport. And y'all probably wasn't ready for this because we didn't write this down. So what y'all feel about, is it Justin Fields to
the Jets, to my Jets, to my New York Jets.
So we know, Justin Fields.
Listen, I didn't even know y'all wanted to talk about it.
Now it's anything. It's anything.
Okay.
You can talk about your daughter wisdom tooth coming in. You know, this is what it is right here.
Okay.
So how you feel about it? You a Jets fan, so how you feel about it?
I like it. Listen, man, we went through the Aaron Rodgers thing. You know what I'm saying? So it was an experiment. First year was a wash. He played 10 seconds, get him off the court. The field. The next year comes in. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do it this time, and it was disaster. So I'm done with the Rodgers thing. So this kid is over there in Pittsburgh, and from what I'm seeing, he started well. Like, I think their record was 6 or something or whatever, but they were waiting for Wilson to come back, and then he lost his job. So listen, he can run, he's strong. They say he's not a great passer or whatever, but I think after watching Philadelphia, you don't have to be that great in the passing.
Shots fired.
Woo! Took shots at him, man. Come on, man.
I like the move for us, and I'm a struggling Jets fan. I like the move.
Okay, what you think, Sam?
Who cares? It's the Jets. Who cares? You know, Justin
Yo, we
Fields is
used to that.
talented. He's great until he goes to the Jets.
Mm.
Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest quarterbacks until he goes to the Jets.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Like, who cares? It's the Jets, man. Any way they can find to mess this up, they will. They might get the best quarterback and they get rid of their entire front line.
yo.
You know what I'm saying? That's just what the Jets do.
Yeah,
Get a good front line and get rid of their running backs. It's the Jets. This is what they do.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who goes. It doesn't matter until that organization figures out a way to get out of the way. Then they're gonna always be the Jets. It's like some teams in the league will always be who they are. The Cowboys, the Jets. The Jets are always gonna be the Jets, man. They're always gonna be that other team in New York. You know?
Right. I hear you. Hey, listen, I'm not disagreeing you, but we sit there and tune in.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Because New Yorkers love pain.
Yeah, I think so.
We need it. We need it, man.
Hey, you know, I have little to say about Justin Fields because he's a young guy. I feel like he needs some more development. You know, so we'll see what the Jets do. I'm more concerned about Aaron Rodgers.
Mm.
This is the second time a black man took his job.
I don't think he likes that.
I don't know.
I know we don't like that.
If one more retreat gonna make, he got like one more black episode to be a racist. You know what I'm saying? He got like one more black episode.
Yeah, he already on the line.
Yeah, let's
already on the line. I think he say any N word a little too sharp anyway. He'd be like, now. I'd be like, damn, that N was sharp. You gotta be careful, man.
I'm trying to tell you, so I hope that Aaron Rodgers find a job. And I kind of hope he takes a black man job because he been getting.
But now, before we even go that far, here's my thing. Did we not see this play out before with Brett Favre? It's like the same situation.
Same pattern, right? And listen, somebody brought it up the other day, and it was like the same teams.
Yeah. We've seen this happen already.
This is crazy.
Yeah, but I just feel like with that right there, like you said, the Jets, that's your team, but the Jets, since Joe Namath,
right?
The Jets haven't been a good team. They just been having good players.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's their motto. Like, we don't worry about us, but we have some good players. So come see our good players, and
yeah.
Every now and then we'll have a good season, but we're never going to be a good team. You ain't going to be like,
oh yeah,
the Jets is contending. They might have a good season, in the next two or three seasons, you're trying to figure out is we starting over.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
that's a fact.
Listen, we just went through this Aaron Rodgers era, and it's like we just hit the start over button. We're used to that. Okay, let's start over.
Hey, at least with Brett Favre, didn't y'all win like 12 games with Brett Favre?
Something like that. Yo, I remember watching Brett Favre, man. He would just fling the ball. He didn't give two shits where it was going. He got picked off so many times. It was wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question. By y'all feeling when you look at the NBA as a whole right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like, because Benny wasn't here, we talked about the young guys, the young stars in the league right now.
Okay.
Do you feel like the young guys, like the NBA is in good hands? Or because you remember, see, we had an era where went from Magic and Bird, from Dr. J to Magic and Bird. Then Michael Jordan. And then Kobe Bryant. And then LeBron James.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and LeBron had an era because he had even like Mike, he had some guys that was good, But LeBron had some guys that was closer to him because KD for a lot of years was kind of close until LeBron just got in cruise control and kind of just went different. So with the NBA right now, do you feel like the NBA is in good hands? And give me 3 players right now, each of y'all. So I'm gonna let Seb go first. 3 players that you feel like could take the NBA in the next 2 years. Because LeBron play any more than 2 years, I'm getting upset. It's like, dude, and especially if you ain't winning championships.
He needs to retire. If you ask me, he's done.
Now he's good enough to keep playing,
right?
But I don't know if I want to see like I don't want to see you old. You know, like Morgan Freeman been old to me forever. But I seen LeBron come in the league young. So I don't know if I want to see him old.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it shows you your own mortality too.
Yeah.
And I'll say this. First of all, before I even start with if the NBA is in good hands, when we say it was Magic and Bird, then Mike, then Kobe, then LeBron, we're going to have to change that narrative. We're going to have to start saying it was Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan. It was LeBron, KD. You know what I'm saying? Because Michael Jordan had it. And when Bird and Magic had it, they were the two constantly fighting for the MVPs, the titles, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? Mike was just that guy. And Kobe, you know, it was Kobe, Shaq, Tim Duncan. Those guys were all winning. So let's start doing that. But as far as the NBA being in good hands, it is and it will be if they allow these young guys to be great. Because it's kind of demeaning to these young guys when they go out here and they average 26 or 27 and they don't make an all-star game or they don't get MVP votes and you still got KD, LeBron, and these guys, which they still great. But then you look at guys like Shake and you see what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? Even Wemby, like he's going to be, and that would be one of my players. Wemby, you know, I can't pronounce his name for nothing. But you look at guys like that, Luka, you know what I'm saying? These guys are great, but they're always mentioned in an afterthought. They're always mentioned after LeBron, after KD. It's like you got to start giving these guys the respect that they deserve. Even when Brunson got passed over for the All-Star in the All-NBA, not last season, but the season before. And his numbers were almost the same, but it was like, oh, we're going to give the nod to the guys that been here before. Why? Like, give the nod to these young guys that's going hard. Just like Wemby, his first season, he should have won Defensive Player of the Year. He was the best defender in the NBA, in the league, hands down. You know what I'm saying? So in order for the league to be in good hands, you got to be willing to put it in good hands. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you have kids, if you have an infant and the big brother or big sister want to hold the baby, you put it in their hands. You show them how to hold it. You don't just let them pick it up and grab it. Say, here, let me put this in your hands. And I feel like these older guys in the NBA, the guys that's running the NBA, the analysts and all of that, they're not doing it. And I'll say this, and then I'll pass it along. Before we even get to the young guys, to the Shakes, to the Lukas, to the we still got to deal with the needs. You know what I'm saying? We still got to deal with the Jokic. We still got to deal with the Greek Freak. Like, we still got to give them guys the league.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
Okay, B, what you feel?
Did
you name your 3 though?
Did I name my 3?
Yeah.
I said Wemby, Luka, and Shake.
Okay.
Now, how far are we going? Because like when we're saying we're pretty much handing over after LeBron. So if you ask me, the first player that comes to mind is Curry. You know, he already won chips.
But we saying the young guys, though. We say out of young guys, we saying
young
torch. Curry held the torch with LeBron.
Okay, so younger generation.
And the next guys that's gonna carry it, like KD, Curry, and LeBron. That was the last 15 years of greatness.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So now we're looking at the next 15 years without these guys. Who are the guys?
Yeah, definitely SGA. Definitely. We talked about that kid in Detroit. I think he has a big upside as well.
The big man or
the point guard. I think Henderson or whatever his name is. Yeah. I think he has a big upside as well.
Okay.
So that's two. And yeah, Wembanyama, like a 7. What is he? 7'4"?
Yeah.
7'4". Yo, the times I watch him, he can move. It's like he cannot move. He can move. Bangs threes if you leave him open. Yo, it's funny. And he's not afraid of contact. He really isn't, because I saw him. He's not afraid of it. He just needs to get stronger. Yeah, man, definitely.
All right. My three. And thanks for the correction, Seb, about it's not just being LeBron and Kobe. It was other great guys, because you're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. It just seemed like these guys was the face, like NBA wise, because Kobe wasn't always the favorite in the NBA, but to the rest of the players he was, and to the rest of the world, Kobe was. Like even in China, Kobe was the biggest face in the NBA until LeBron came along. So you had great players. You had Tim Duncan, AI, Shaq. Shaq did his thing. But me, I'm going to go different. And I want to talk about what you said, Seb, too, about the NBA not letting guys be great or taking things away from people. Because Jaylen Brown is a superstar player. And he gets treated like he's not a starter.
Yeah.
He has no all NBAs, and he's one of the few two-way players. And a lot of players, but the backlash with him is that he came out of college and high school. They say arrogant, but I won't even say arrogant. I just say he knew who he was. And sometimes when you know who you are, it offends people because then they're not able to mold you. So he let you know, I don't know who his parents is, but he's one of those guys that even when he got his bag, he donated so much money to the inner cities of the Boston, and he has the philosophy like I have. I just don't have the money to do it. He has the philosophy, if everybody chip in, we could do more. So he had that type of mentality. Now let's get back to the three players. Neither one of y'all, Sev had an all international squad. He didn't have no American players. Benny, you had Ben Wanyama, SGA, and K Cunningham. So you did have an American player. I would go with the first guy I'm going to go with over all the guys is Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum, I feel like he's the next up guy. He just got to keep winning. And he's in a position where he's the only guy that I name, that we name, that y'all name, that has a great guy beside him. Every player that y'all named didn't have a great teammate. They said Tatum is doing what he's doing, even with a great teammate. And a lot of times when you have a guy that great, your numbers and stuff be less. he still do what he need to do, and they still winning. So Jason Tatum will be my first pick. SGA will be my second pick. And then Luka will be my third pick. And I would pick Luka because he's in Lakers uniform. And I pick Tatum because he's in a Celtic uniform, you know, and SGA because he's everything a great player need to be. Not saying the other two guys ain't, but usually the face of the NBA don't be on an expansion type team. They be on the major teams. LeBron is one of the guys, and Michael Jordan, they made their team. Like, LeBron made Cleveland be big. Chicago was a laughing stock until MJ got there. You know, it was a laughing stock. They call them the Coors Light guys.
You know? I want to change my pick.
Go ahead, brother.
I got to put the Ant-Man.
Ooh.
I got to put the Ant-Man. I take Cunningham out of there. So SGA, Ant-Man, and Wemba.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go there.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, the fact that you changed your pick and you said what you said, that just goes to show how many future great players are in the league and why the NBA is in such good hands. Now, had we all picked the same three players, but we picked players and nobody can disagree with the players that were picked. So I think that says a lot right there. That just goes to show you how good the NBA is, like how talented it is. Because again, we said all of those players, and Giannis won a title, MVPs. Then you got Embiid just came off an MVP, and we didn't even pick those guys, and they still in their 20s.
Well, that's what I'm saying. How far are we going? Because, like I said, we're changing the guard, like the major guard from LeBron to the next thing, Curry's my guy.
Well, I mean, Curry don't have 10 years left.
Yeah,
Curry don't have 10 years left.
Okay.
Yeah, so this, whoever it is, they got to have at least 8 to 10 years left in them.
Okay.
Because what we grade people on like an 8-year curve, like how great were they for 8 years? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because Curry, it was Curry and LeBron.
Correct.
Curry, LeBron, KD, James Harden.
And they battled it out too.
Oh yeah, nah. Hell, Curry won more.
Exactly.
So that says a lot too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna wrap up the show, fellas. Man, it was a good show. We getting close to the hour mark, but this is one thing I want to do. When I finish this up, I'm gonna have it on the board with the numbers and everything. But I just want to say this real quick. Since the top 10 guys is in, we're gonna go back through and tell me thumbs up. You can say right here, like you question their position, or thumbs down, GOAT Metrics mistake. You know, which can't be a mistake because it is what it is. You're not really, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
We never did this before. So we got, so we got Michael Jordan, #1 spot, 335 GOAT metric points. How y'all feel, fellas?
That's not even a question.
All right. We got Wilt Chamberlain. He's #2. He got 306 points. How do y'all feel about that, fellas? Oh, I knew one was coming. I knew it was early though. So we gonna talk to you about Wilt Chamberlain. We have to go through his numbers. All right. So now we go to #3. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 283 points. How do y'all feel about that, fellas? Okay. LeBron James, #4, 223 points. How y'all feel about that? Whoa! Hey, Ben, we gotta do you a segment.
Listen, go.
And then Bill Russell, #5, 221 points. Hey, I want to say something, but man, Steph, you gotta tell me because Benny halfway is not bad. What the no mean?
I know what that means.
Listen, I already told you that we got to have a plus minus for, time and.
Yes.
All right. We're gonna talk about this later on because we're gonna talk about the players that got the error points that we already talked about and tell me how you feel. We got to figure something out. All right, John Stockton, number 6, 198 points. How do y'all feel about his position? Oh, I'm surprised. Chris Paul, number 7, 195 points. Oh, you answering? How y'all feel? Oh, come on, you a point guard, son.
I know. He ain't got no chips.
Facts,
oh, come on, man.
Hey, John Stockton don't either, but we gonna go to that. You know what I'm saying? You on the light skin scale of things. You like light-skinned dudes right now.
You did mention Curry 3 times.
All right, so the number 8 guy, Tim Duncan, 190 points. What you feel about Mr. Fundamental? All right, so he holding down an A spot. Hakeem, the Dream, Elijah Wan, the number 9 spot, 188 points. 3 thumbs for Hakeem. I should have been saying the thing because I keep forgetting we got the podcast where they can't see it. So I gotta tell which each guy got. So then I might run it down later on. With next episode, we're gonna do this from time to time. So we're gonna take care of the next 10. But then we got the number 10 spot, Bob Cousy, 181 points. Sam got thumbs down. Benny got thumbs down.
Yo, I can guard him. I can guard the Cousy. Come on.
Got the middle.
He only dribbles with one hand.
Hey, go to the left.
I got the middle, man. Hey, I might go back and tell everybody what y'all said. I might figure out how to do it.
Listen, I feel like Benny could guard him, take the ball, and then throw me a lob.
There you go.
Hey, and then we be having the icy hot your calves. I don't know what you lobbing.
Hey, Benny, ask Life about the last time he played ball.
Oh, no.
Hey, ask Benny right now. Your shirt say flight. But right now, with your age, you need to take the F off. You like
I'm gonna have to take the L off too, because I ain't light either.
All right, that's what's up, fellas.
I'm just aight.
All right.
I'm saying that's why now you was there, Benny. I told you about I tore my Achilles.
Damn, nah, man. When that happened?
It was like 2013. I'm at Seb's daughter.
First birthday.
Yeah, that was her first birthday.
Yeah, it was because we was at the water park. She was turning 1.
She was born in 2012.
Yeah.
Wow. So we at the park playing ball, right? We at the park playing ball. Everything good. Is a dude on me, and matter of fact, we won 2 games.
Yeah, we was killing them.
And then we went to play Happy Birthday, right? So I'm like, so I forgot how old I was. I didn't even feel like doing the math right now. but so I was in my 30s. That's like 13 years ago. I'm probably like 37, 38 or whatever. So anyway, we playing ball. We won the first 2 games. So we had to we was like, yo, we got to go say happy birthday. So we went to go play happy birthday, right? So we came back to play. The dude that's checking me, he must be like a D-leaguer or something. You know what I mean? This guy, he wasn't NBA, but it looked like he was playing for something.
He was
Yeah.
Because I
He's
was
going
with
hard.
him a little bit. He was like, yo, I got him. And I'm not even nice like that. But it was part. You know, everybody out here don't play ball, man. We like Coca-Cola,
Mm-hmm.
Walmart guy here. You know what I mean? We all got real jobs and stuff. So anyway, so every time I try to move, he was like cutting me off. Like he had real good defense. So I had to think back, like playing basketball in the hood growing up. I had to remember when you try to make a move, when you cross over, whatever, you put your right foot in front of their foot to kind of guard them. You know, like on a crossover, they tell you like put your foot in front of their foot. So you know, so I did that. Like I'm thinking of this because he keep defending me too well. So I'm thinking about basketball fundamentals now. I hit him with an in and out. Back, threw it through my legs, and I put my right leg over his path. So now I know I could blow by him. I did all that back. It worked. Everything worked. So I put the ball in my left hand, and I stepped off. I fell. I thought my shoe broke.
Mm-hmm.
Over my butt. I'm like, my shoe broke. It's like, nah, you just fell. I heard a pop. And one of the young boys, and he was like, yo, that's how it happened to Kobe. That's how it happened to Kobe. And in fact, I tore my Achilles playing basketball, man.
I had to carry this nigga off the court, man. I watched his dreams deflate, Benny.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying right now, if a basketball rolled by me, I'm kicking it.
Yeah. I'm done. I retired too, man.
I'm not even picking it up, man. You can have, I'm going to call the game from the microphone. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I don't like saying this, but I think I retired when you dunked on me.
That was a long time ago.
That's when I retired. I gave it up that day.
You were still in high school. He retired in high school.
Yo, I tore my ACL in Miami, playing ball in Miami.
Yeah.
And that was devastating because I was still play ball. I'll go find a court and work on my game. I love playing. Tore it up.
You playing in sandals?
Nah. I told you. I don't do the sandal thing, man. I could never adjust. Never really had it right or whatever, but I came back to New York in 2010. I was determined to get back, and I did. And I came back. I was playing full court, and I'm not young. Full court with young players, at least like 4 to 5 days out of the week. So I was like gassed up. I was back and this and that, only to tear it again Thanksgiving morning. And I was like, that was it for me. I retired after that. Same leg, same knee.
That's like my cousin Joe, man. I love him to death. And he kept getting back on motorcycles. How many times he been in the hospital? Now I kind of hated it for him because one time I was coming to New York and he had an accident. And it's funny now. It wasn't funny then. But when I was in the hospital, it was like, yo, I'm done. He reminds me of Ace Boogie on Paid in Full. He's like, yo, same no more. Like my body is not the same no more. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But us guys gotta realize there's a reason why, we look at the young boys, right? And sometime in life, you gotta get to a place where it's like, either if we doing the same thing, it's either they overachieving or we not letting go.
That's a fact.
Because we can't be in the same place at the same time.
No. Listen, I struggle letting go. I had to let go.
Yeah. It's all right.
That's a fact. That's what's up.
Yeah, but this was a good episode, man. I want to, I think what we need to do next week, I want y'all to bring up street legends or people that was nice that you know that didn't make it to the NBA? Because I have somebody in mind.
Ooh.
I have somebody in mind I want to speak on their career. They made it as far as college, but they from Jamaica, Queens. So I want to get Sue out to him. Yeah, he's no longer here. Rest in peace, but we'll speak on him next week. That's the player I want to salute. So we want to salute players that put in that work, but didn't make it to the league.
Okay.
Didn't
I
make
can do that.
it to the league.
I'm gonna have to do research on that one.
Yeah, figure
I
it
already got 2 in my head already.
out. Didn't make it to the league. All right.
Okay.
All
No
right. So
doubt.
like I always said, we in the GOAT metrics, man. Titles is earned and awards is given. GOAT metrics.